Hello all and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be going over the briefest of introductions to Kill Team, why I love it, and some brief highlights of it and why I think you should give it a try if you haven't already. Lately I've been playing a lot more skirmish war games, mostly because I feel like I'm making some painting progress by going through my backlog and actually finishing up some of these kill teams, and other things that are just smaller squads and easier to do than a full army. After finishing up my Bone Reapers and getting all of them but 3 models fully painted, sorry, 4, I felt like I needed something to actually give me some sense of accomplishment when, you run that painting burnout and you look at those last 4 models and go, really? Do I really want to finish them right now? So let's get right on into this. Kill Team is the odd child of the Games Workshop games. I enjoy it a lot. I have since the beginning, since I first demoed it. But most people use it as an entry point to 40k instead of respecting it as its own in-depth game. And by most people, I am going by my local groups and what I have experienced when trying to find games for Kill Team. Pretty much the only people who I can consistently get games of Kill Team with are my friends, who aren't too crazy interested in 40k, but actually like the systems of Kill Team. Now, I am probably an exception. I know that there are tons of people who probably love Kill Team out there, but that being said, I know in my local area it is not really respected as its own game. And let's briefly go over why all that is. And even if you're tired of normal 40k, why Kill Team can be an amazing system to take advantage of. One of the many things plaguing Kill Team's history is Kill Team 1.0, as it is very often dubbed, a very different type of game than the current Kill Team, oft dubbed 2.0, at least from the people I talked to about it. Kill Team 1.0 did not have as strong as a rule system and was very much designed with a different philosophy in mind. It was designed to be more like a mini 40k, with point systems for building lists, point values, different weapons you can pick with each person, etc. The newer version functions more as what you'd expect from a skirmish wargame, a set squad balanced against each other. Yeah, there's variation you can take within the squads, but you're not individually picking each and every member's gun and exact loadout anymore. And there's no real, ways to crazy stack it. And because of that, some customizability is lost, but you lose that little bit of customizability, which really did not affect every faction the same, and instead get a solid balanced rule system and squad sets, which play much better than they used to. Now, going straight into the strengths of Kill Team, the system truly shines as an in-depth skirmish wargame. Everything from the shooting rules to the melee rules are fun and surprisingly well balanced. It is also a Games Workshop game that has alternate activations, and more Games Workshop games should probably take note, because I truly do think alternate activations are one of the best things that have come out of modern wargames. The constant support for Kill Team is also fantastic and always gives you something new to look forward to, even if there are some minor drawbacks from it. And you can paint up an entire team in a weekend without too much trouble, as most don't really go over 10 to 12 models, which is an absolutely fantastic thing for your mental health if you feel like you need to finish something before moving on to something else. Now, some of the weaknesses of Kill Team I have found in my time playing it are the Compendium units, which, while stronger at launch, are much weaker now by proxy of the dedicated Kill Teams existing, so playing Compendium units is often a disadvantage. Now, to explain a bit more, Compendium units are like the squads you can take that are already members of your larger 40k armies. So if you have, an instance, unit of Imperial Guardsmen, they'd be a Compendium kill team, not a dedicated kill team. The dedicated kill teams are kill teams that have specific rule sets made for kill team first in mind, rather than 40k, even though many of them do have 40k rules. Some factions do require buying multiple boxes to run the best kill team loadout, leaving you with several leftover models, which is a minor annoyance, as sometimes, for instance, the Breacher kill team very much, in my opinion, needs 2 boxes. It just can get a bit annoying. Although not a kill team negative per se, the 40k rules for the dedicated kill teams kinda suck. There's barely any reason to bring any of them along ever. And possibly the only ones that are actually good are the ones that are stand-in for already existing units. Like, for instance, the Chaos Warriors, or the new Night Lord models coming out, which lets you have nice thematic-looking Night Lords. Or, for instance, the Trader Guardsmen had good rules, even though you don't really ever want to bring them because they don't really work the best. I don't know, they're... You can already see what I mean by they kind of suck. There's no kill team that's a dedicated kill team that I can point at and go, yes, running these in 40k as well is also fun. Painting them works best for both systems. other than, the obvious squads like in the Compendium units or the base upgrades like the Tau Pathfinder, Chaos Space Marines, etc. To briefly summarize the rules of Kill Team and why I enjoy them so much, you have an alternative activation sequence where you can choose to be in an attack or a stealth mode. Being in those modes allow you to control line of sight and designate whether or not you can attack. For instance, being in attack mode and being behind waist-high cover means you can shoot at things and things can shoot back at you. But if you're in your stealth or infiltrate mode, they can't shoot at you, you can't shoot at them, they can't even technically see you, you're ducked behind that cover, hidden out of sight. There are 4 turns, and at the beginning of each turn, you can pop stratagems that affect the entire turn and can change the flow of the game. Melee is very complicated, and I don't really want to get into a full melee breakdown. I just like how it makes dedicated melee units feel better compared to normal 40k, especially in 10th edition, which has a struggle with making dedicated melee units feel amazing. Even if they are good, sometimes it's only really the big monsters that feel great. But it's great having dedicated, single unit melee people that rush in. It's just fun. I love it a lot, especially when you have, the cool little axes and stuff on their models, with the Breacher unit. I love the Kill Team feel. And I think that's the best thing I can say about these rules, is they have a good feel. I am able to teach them to friends in 5 to 10 minutes. They understand the basics of them and we can get right into gaming. And these are friends that don't really play war games much. A lot of the time when I play war games with my non-war game friends, breaking out something like Kill Team or Combat Zone or Battletech even, if I do the Alpha Strike rule set, are much easier for them to grasp than me tossing a 40k army in front of them, having to explain to them all the different army rules and go on. And I think that's where the strength of Kill Team's rules shine through. It's just complicated enough where you feel like there's a lot to master, but it's just simple enough where you can teach it to someone in an afternoon without too much of a struggle. And I really do appreciate that Games Workshop has at least one system that has this feel to it. Now we're going to briefly go over the dedicated kill teams and some of the minor problems I have with them, as I don't want this whole video to just be constant kill team praise because there are always places where it can be improved. Every 3 months or so, Games Workshop comes out with 2 dedicated kill team rule sets. About 2, usually. Sometimes even more, but those are usually reserved for something special or some big re-release. These dedicated kill teams have the best rules and often play better than the Compendium counterparts. Because of this, and because it's Games Workshop, there can be issues with stock and release schedule, making it hard to grab the dedicated team you want. And let's say you do see a dedicated team you want coming out in 3 months. Well, if you don't pre-order that box set they come in with a kill team you might not care about at all, then you might have to wait another 2 to 3 months to actually get access to that kill team in its own box, and by that point, you kind of feel like, why am I waiting this long? It's why I have issues with GW stock and their box set releases sometimes. You just have to be patient, but it can sometimes make you feel bad or give you the fear of missing out on something big or important that you have been excited for. And my final why you should try Kill Team, if this video did not interest you at all, or none of the rules sounded interesting, or none of the things I praised about the system sounded good, then I'll leave you with this. As a simple war game that gives you the 40k feel, this is an amazing option for someone who doesn't have the time for full games. That could be a full game of 10th edition, a full game of 9th if you pull out the old rule set, which is always available. You just can play more Kill Team. And for someone like me, who now has much more limited time as time has gone on in my life, I am finding myself enjoying skirmish war games a lot. Even Star Wars Legion takes twice as long to play as a game of Kill Team. I can get a game of Kill Team in 45 minutes with a friend who knows what they're doing. If I'm teaching someone, it never takes longer than an hour and a half. It's nice, it's simple, it's fun, and I get multiple games in, and my friends don't feel like they're stuck doing something. Now, everybody is going to have different life situations. There are times when skirmish war games are not the best solution. But as an entry-level point, Kill Team is just as good of an option as Combat Zone or other dedicated skirmish games, and has a very similar buy-in as well. In general, if you play normal 40k, it is worth a try. I genuinely think you'd enjoy it. Don't just treat it as 40k light, because that's not what it is anymore. It's its own interesting, dedicated rule set and system that plays differently. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I am going to be doing weekly releases for all of February, March, and April. Now that the new year is over, I'm used to this new job I'm in, and life is calming down. Not all the holidays are over, and I wasn't constantly getting sick. I am coming back in full swing. I apologize that I only managed to get, I think, 2 videos out in January, maybe even only one. But now that I'm back and set up and everything I'm going through, I think this will be a good few months for the channel. Have a wonderful weekend, all, and I'll see you next week.